Good morning, guys. Welcome to lesson 2 of language for this week. In this lesson, we're going to review taglines, something that we talked about a bit last week in our writing lessons. We're going to watch a quick video, and then we're going to do our first assignment for this week. So let's start by looking at the anchor chart together. This anchor chart shows us that the tagline, the part of your sentence that shows who is actually speaking, can come in 3 different places. Okay? You can find them at the end of the quotation mark or the end of what was actually said. In this particular quote, this little guy is saying quotation marks can be tricky. So you can see around what he said, we have quotation marks. We have a comma that separates what he said from who said it. His name is Ben. So quotation marks can be tricky, remarked Ben. This is our tagline that's found at the end of our quote. The second place you will find a tagline will be at the beginning of the quote. A lot of times writers want to say who's saying something and then tell what they said. So in this example, using the same quote, we're saying Ben commented, comma, quotation marks can be tricky, period. And we have our beginning quotation and our end quotations, our comma to separate our tagline, Ben commented, from our actual quote. You have a period at the end here because the tagline came first, so we have to end the sentence. And then the third form, which is an interesting way to do it, and you will see this a lot in stories that we read. And if you are able to do this in your writing, point it out to your teacher. It will really impress them. This is when you put the tagline in the middle of your quotation. So here we have quotation marks can be tricky, Ben stated, but I think I have them figured out now. So the tagline is in the middle because Ben made a comment, and this is what he actually said. Then there was a pause, and then he finished his statement. So quotation marks can be tricky, comma, Ben stated, and then another comma to separate the tagline from the actual quote. But I think I have them figured out now, period, and then your end quotation marks. And you can see in the drawing with Ben talking, that would be 2 speech bubbles. Okay, we're going to go back to our rainbow planner after you have finished looking over the 3 different ways to show who is speaking with your taglines. Be thinking about how you're going to put those into your own stories and writing this week. Then you're ready to move to the video, which is a really short video by the Electric Company. And this one starts with an ad. I will put that there to skip. Okay, when you finish, you'll click out by clicking the X on that particular tab. And then you're ready to go to our first assignment for the week, which is in Google Classroom. When you go to Google Classroom, you're going to look for language, week 7, day 2. And it looks like this. Okay. You're going to click on View Assignment, and then your name, and you're going to see 3 slides. What we want you to do is to come up with something that you think these animals would say. Be creative, be funny, whatever you want them to say. What we're looking for as your teachers is the way that you're using quotation marks and punctuation to show what these animals are saying. So I've got text boxes in each. You see we have a dog, a couple of dogs here. We have a raccoon and a goat. So there are several places for you to practice what you think the animals would say. So for example, if I wanted to pretend that this pig here is saying something, and this guy, he's just or this guy's saying something, and this one's listening. Sorry, I didn't see where the speech bubble was pointing. I'm going to decide where I want my tagline. I'm going to put mine at the end here. So I'm going to put my quotation marks, and then I'm going to say something like, "Hey, Joe, how are you?" And then that's a question. So I'm going to put a question mark in quotations, said Ralph. And that's just a quick example. I need a period at the end to show that my sentence is finished. "Hey, Joe, how are you?" said Ralph. That would just be one thing. You can come up with anything you want them to say. If you want them to be telling knock-knock jokes or giggling with each other or whatever you decide, I can't wait to see some of these. Okay, so I'm going to clear that out. When you are finished, you're going to turn that in. It is for a grade. You're going to come back to the Rainbow Planner and move on to your next content area.